Hey, my name is STIX and welcome back to another weekly bite of MMORPG news, video series where we go over everything that happened in the MMO scene over the course of the last 2 weeks, that at the very least mattered to me. If this is your first time here, then I urge you to take a moment, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with everything that I post, and I post multiple times per week. Some of these videos are videos you're not going to want to miss out on. Now, we have a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. This new MMO, Brighter Shores, by the creator of RuneScape, or one of the creators of RuneScape, is going to attract a major portion of RuneScape players and players that are interested in high quality, very freeing, open, Western MMOs. This game kind of just popped up out of nowhere, but is already heavily through the development process. Honestly, looks pretty damn good. Admittedly, is going to technically be free to play, but is going to lock certain content or additional content behind the paid premium pass, from what I can tell. This is kind of like Wizard 101, I guess, or also like Guild Wars 2. The game is releasing, or at least planned to release, in the third quarter of 2024. This is July through September. Tower Fantasy previewed their Asuka X Spear of Longinus new Simulacrum trailer, where we got to see gameplay of Asuka of course, from Neon Genesis Evangelion in Tower Fantasy. And honestly, she looks pretty damn good. I am genuinely impressed by what I see. Abyss Online, which is an MMO I covered, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, is launching into early access on April 18th. They go on to state, "We will be discontinuing the sale in our store on Wednesday. This is the last chance to purchase the game for $9.99 before the prices increase to $24.95. They have their official website. "For long-term monetization, we are removing a mandatory sub and will create an optional subsystem." I guess not enough people purchased the game or were interested in the game. If you are, though, you can go ahead and get it right now. Honestly, it does... I honestly strongly urge you to go ahead and watch my dedicated video on this game before you go ahead and purchase it, though. There's a lot of pertinent information that I think you should be aware of before investing any money into it. Now, before we continue to discuss any additional games, let me take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Bcraft released a brand new trailer for the game and also announced that it is entering into its alpha test phase, scheduled to begin on April 2nd. This honestly is one of the more interesting looking MMOs out there. This is featuring a very, very attractive aesthetic, look and feel. I really don't like the name. Bcraft reminds me far too much of Minecraft. But other than that, this I think has a genuine chance at creating something interesting for players in the MMO scene that really haven't had anything fun to play for a while and that have been kind of bored. You can pre-register for the alpha via their website. Eternal Tombs, another MMORPG, indie backed, is entering into its next pre-alpha test phase in 15 days. The closed pre-alpha test date begins April 2nd. I really don't know much about this other than there are going to be like live quote-unquote tomb masters that function kind of like a dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, if I recall. It's an interesting concept. I'm curious to see how it's received. Scars of Honor is another indie MMO. They held a Kickstarter recently. They were attempting to raise $200,000 to prove that there was enough interest in the game for investors. Unfortunately, they managed to only raise $34,000. I was flown out with MRSSTIX to Bulgaria, along with a few other creators, Callum Upton, Josh Strife Hayes, Queenie. We got to take a look at the game firsthand. We played the recent test phase, which was considerably better than what we played over in Bulgaria. Honestly, I think this game has a lot of very passionate people that are involved in creating it, and I think that it genuinely does have the potential to actually fully release, which I can't say about many indie MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV is finally releasing onto the Xbox platform. The starter edition will be available through the Game Pass Ultimate Perks claim between March 21st and April 19th. The game is fully releasing on March 21st. That's 4 days from when this video is being recorded, and roughly, I think, like 3 days after this video is posted onto this channel. Additionally, in anticipation of Dawn Trail's release, they're holding upcoming test phases for cross-region data center travel for the very first time, and that could be big. Cross-region travel available during the test, Japanese to Oceania, North America to Oceania, Europeans also crossing over to the Oceanian region. So everyone gets to go visit Australia, which is where I'm from. Welcome! Nexon released a producer's letter for Mabinogi detailing the upcoming content they plan on rolling out over 2024, like Doki Doki Island, the 16th anniversary, a couple other things. Although what I'm most curious of is the enormous graphical overhaul they're working on, which was not mentioned in this, but they're hard at work on it, no doubt. Blue Protocol confirmed that they are actually rolling out a major update in the form of Chapter 5. This is a really cool trailer, by the way, from what I can see on their website. Chapter 5 brings with it additional content, additional story, additional updates. Honestly, I genuinely hope that when this game finally releases in the West, sometime 2024, 2025, it comes with all of these chapters as well, because this will give us a lot of stuff to actually do and enjoy. Nexon recently, as of the last several days, released the Vindictus Defying Fate spin-off multiplayer RPG, or not necessarily RPG, multiplayer like Souls-like game. And honestly, I had quite a bit of fun in it. MRSSSTIX had fun in it. Now, a lot of people had a lot of fun in it. This was a completely unexpected game that looked a lot better than we all thought it was going to be and played better than we thought it was going to be. This specific version was a single-player version of the game. They plan on opening up multiplayer in the future, maybe future test phases, but definitely full release. Players got to play the pre-alpha. The pre-alpha is still available until, I think, tomorrow or today when the video goes live. I'm not sure. It closes in like the next 24 hours. If you want to go ahead and try it out, it's available via Steam right now. Destiny 2 is rolling out their Into the Light update on April 9th. We're sharing our next big content update. Destiny 2 Into the Light will launch on April 9th, along with update 7.3.6, which also further includes further tuning to the sandbox and quality of life updates. I really have to try this game out. And finally, CCP Games blockchain EVE Online spin-off Project Awakening plots a test phase for May. I do not support blockchain or crypto or NFT games, but at the same time, this is worth noting because it is from the people behind EVE Online, and I'm curious to see how they manage to kind of craft a blockchain spin-off MMO and whether it flops as bad as every other attempted blockchain or crypto-backed MMO that is released over the course of the last few years. Now, that is everything. That is all of the MMO related news that I was interested in this month, or in the last 2 weeks. If none of this is of any interest to you, though, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. Might be more up your alley.